Okay, so good morning. This is chapter 3, tourism and culture. The effects of culture in travel or on travel. Culture is a shared set of beliefs, values, and behaviors passed down through generations. Understanding a country's culture helps avoid culture shock and anticipates needs and wants. Factors like mass, follow class can influence behavior, making it crucial to adapt accordingly. Okay, so with culture, it is very important to have a knowledge about the culture of a country where you are going to travel. So it's important because it helps you to understand how the people in that country will behave. If, for example, you went to a place and then you don't have any idea about the culture of that place, it might probably result to what we call culture shock. Okay, when you say culture shock, when you go to a place, you have this feelings and emotions that somehow you feel afraid or surprised about the behavior in that place. Kumbaga may isip mo, this is the culture is really different from my culture in my home country, and you will find it difficult to adapt easily. So when you visit a certain place or another country, you have to know the culture, you have to respect their culture, and kailangan alam mo kung paano ka makikiharap sa tao, to other people with different nationality. Kasi minsan meron tayong mga kilos na para sa kanila ay rude pala. For example, when you look into each other, to other people's eyes directly. So for some people, aggressive yon or uh, a sign of disrespect. And also, culture patterns are changed by internal forces within a group. There are people who are more willing than others to try new things. Meron din tayong tinatawag na mass follow class. It actually suggests that a destination first attracts a small number of high-status individuals whose actions are eventually copied by a large number of persons with lower social status. A visit to a foreign country may result in a change in attitude toward the people of that country. So, kaya kailangan guarded ka with your emotions, feelings, attitudes, or behavior. Alright. Okay, next. The importance of cultural tourism. So cultural tourism promotes cultural relations and international cooperation by allowing people to learn about each other's ways of life. It encourages sharing and appreciation of cultures, fostering trust and appreciation among people and nations. So, when you travel with cultural tourism, people learn about each other's way of life. Alright, okay, next. Cultural factors with tourist appeal. Tourism is primarily influenced by cultural factors such as art, music, dance, handicraft, industry, agriculture, education, literature, science, government, religion, food, drink, and history. Okay, so we're going to learn them and understand them one by one. First is arts. The arts encompass performing arts live theater, music and dance, and fine arts like painting, sculpture, graphic arts, and architecture, with examples like Pangkat Kawayan and Michelangelo. Some tourists travel because they are interested with art. So it can be They want to watch a theater, music, dance, o kaya they want to witness yung mga fine arts like painting and so on. So, they would usually visit, for example, mga museum kasi usually sa museum nila nakikita yung different kinds of art. Music and dance. Music and dancing are popular tourist attractions in the countries like the Philippines, Hawaii, Spain, the US, and the Balkans. Resort hotels offer evening entertainment programs and ethnic dancing with cultural expressions like bayanihan dance troupe. Usually sa mga resort hotel natin, makikita yung mga ganyan, wherein sa mga resort hotels, visitors have many opportunities to enjoy the best local music. Dancing is one of the most appealing aspects of a country's culture and can be presented as a tourist attraction. Usually, yung people nagiging interested sila sa color, sa costumes na isinusuot ng mga, for example, ng mga ethnic groups who are dancing, yung kind of music, setting, and skill. Okay, how the music has been executed. Okay, so all those factors actually add to the attraction. So almost all countries have, of course, native dancing or ethnic dancing. This kind of dancing, ethnic music and dancing, they're actually part of the culture, and of course they have to be used to entertain the tourist. Next is handicraft. Tourists should buy local gifts and souvenirs such as shellcraft, handcrafted jewelry, and traditional crafts from Thailand, Africa, Cyprus, and Tunisia to ensure authenticity and entertainment. So, ang mga tourists kasi, when they travel, before they go home, they really buy some gifts and souvenirs to be brought to their home country. The tourists usually are proud on this kind of souvenirs, yung mga tipong handcrafted by foreigners. They find these products useful and attractive, and somehow, of course, these souvenir shops actually help the local community. Okay, so pwedeng mag-earn yung local community with these souvenirs, with these handicraft products. Industry and business. So international travelers often explore a country's industry, commerce, and economic situation through industry tours. Tourist organizations can promote visits to factories, processing plants, and manufacturing facilities. Group tours can help manufacturers learn from each other, while shopping centers like Hong Kong and Singapore are crucial for tourism. Example nito, for example, if we will travel to Hong Kong and you let the travel agency made your itinerary, usually kasama sa package nila yung the tourist will be visiting a factory. I remember before in Hong Kong, we traveled to a chocolate factory there. And then, nag-visit din kami ng gold shop, bilihan ng mga gold na mga jewelry. So, somehow, this way also, this kind of tourism activity helps a certain country or a certain place be well known, okay, by the be well known by other people of other nationalities. Agriculture attracts tourists, offering dairy, fruits, vegetables, crops, and poultry. Farmers markets and local tours provide opportunities to see and try agricultural products like pineapples in Hawaii or Bukidnon, Philippines. Agriculture is actually interesting, okay, to some tourists. Some of the travelers sell their products or local produce to travelers, and the travelers really enjoy buying these kind of products, agricultural products from the farmer. For example, in Tagaytay, you will see along the roadside, sa tabi ng daan, ng highway, you can see some roadside stands selling fresh fruits o kaya naman ay mga vegetables or some other handcrafted products that the travelers surely enjoy. Education, tourists often visit educational institutions in other countries, particularly those with beautiful landscapes. Famous universities like Oxford, Harvard, and Santo Tomas attract students from around the world, while continuing education programs attract international conferences. Actually, in the Philippines, there are some colleges and universities na um, most of the students are foreigners. Last month, I visited my old school, Emilio Aguinaldo College in Manila. Kasi doon ako gumraduate ng nursing. So, when I visited my college, ang dami ng foreigners pala na nag-aaral doon. Like, may mga Indians, Chinese, Koreans, and so on. During my time when I studied there, mostly ano pa lang Korean, ganyan. Pero ngayon, ang konting Chinese, pero ngayon, ang dami-dami na ring Indians. Okay, so maybe they study here kasi maganda naman kasi talaga sa Manila. Manila has also has a lot of beautiful places to offer, and I believe also, of course, the tuition fees are cheaper as compared to other countries. Literature and languages are significant factors in travel motivation, with libraries and cultural institutions being popular for tourists. Highly educated individuals often enjoy learning a new language, making language classes an integral part of tourist activities. Before, some of the foreign students, for example, would visit the Philippines kasi they want to learn the English language. So, example ko rin yung school ko before sa EAC Manila. Ang usual course nila was English, to learn English. Even actually here in Cavite, even before we were commonly visited by foreigners for them to learn English, mostly English. Science. Tourists often visit educational institutions in other countries, particularly those with beautiful landscapes. Famous universities like Oxford, Harvard, and Santo Tomas attract students from around the world, while continuing education programs attract international conferences. So, some tourists are interested to know the scientific activities of a country, especially those in technical industries, education, or scientific research. So, itong science, it's a good way. Okay, it's a good way. It can be used as a tourist promotion technique or strategy in order to encourage the students to visit a certain country. Government visits to capitals in other countries provide motivation for political science and government, allowing them to understand and compare different government systems with their own. Of course, different countries differ in their systems of governments. There are some tourists who would like to visit the center of government, for example, yung mga capital, because they're interested in political science and government. For example, um, sa Manila, so some foreigners would visit Manila kasi they know that um, Manila is the capital of the Philippines, and um, they can learn a lot from the country's government while visiting uh, Manila. There are some people also who would like to observe the lawmaking process. Kaya yung mga lawmakers, for example, or mga abogado, they often visit another country. For example, a visit to Washington, D.C. can show visitors the process of making laws in the House of Representatives and in the Senate. Religious pilgrimage, particularly to Mecca, is a popular travel destination among Muslims, attracting visitors to church headquarters and religious literature-rich locations. Travelers often visit religious sites like Vatican, Lourdes, Fatima, Jerusalem, Medjugorje, and famous churches like St. Peter's, St. Paul's Cathedral, San Agustin Church, Notre Dame Cathedral, and Basilica Minore del Santo Niño. Okay, so of course, this religious pilgrimage is another motivation for travel. So people go to different places, okay, different headquarters of the church organization. Alright, but here with religion, people usually travel in groups, so they usually join tour groups. Food and drink. Food and drink is an important part of the culture of a country. Tourists usually enjoy native food, especially those which are local or ethnic in nature. Restaurants and hotels can impress tourists by serving local dishes and explaining their preparation methods. Ambience-friendly restaurants like Fisherman's Wharf seafood restaurants in San Francisco and Los Angeles, and Kabalen Restaurant and Vario Festa Restaurant in the Philippines. Okay, so food and drink, people travel or tourists travel because they want to experience culinary tourism. For example, they will go to Hong Kong because there they can taste and eat the authentic Chinese noodles. Okay, so although for example we have a lot of Chinese noodles in the Philippines, when they visit Hong Kong, andun talaga yung talagang ethnic na klase ng Chinese noodles. Aside from that, traveling because of the food and drink, some people also travel to uh, study culinary in other countries. For example, if they believe na yung certain country na yon is nag-offer ng magandang um, opportunity to learn about culinary, so they would travel to that place and then they will study, or they will undergo or do some short courses about cookery or culinary. History. Historical museums play a crucial role in preserving a country's cultural heritage and promoting tourism. However, many tourists struggle to understand the language used in exhibit explanations. To improve visitor experience, museums should provide comprehensive information on points of interest, admission fees, and special events. Examples include the British Museum in London, the National Museum of Anthropology in Mexico, and the Smithsonian Museum in Washington, D.C. So for some tourists who are into history, so they usually visit historical museums. I have visited a museum in Dubai, and syempre, they're using mga Arabic characters, diba, which are difficult to understand. But the good thing there is a translation. So kumbaga may picture, for example, or merong isang historical item, and then beside is there is an explanation about that item, about that thing, in both in Arabic and in English. So at least the tourists can easily understand. Kasi kaya sila nag-visit ng museum is to understand or to know the history. So kung walang translation, so hindi nila may enjoy yun. Okay, so culture. Culture is a shared set of beliefs, values, and behaviors passed from generation to generation. Understanding a country's culture is crucial for understanding behavior and avoiding culture shock for tourists. Cultural tourism promotes cultural relations and international cooperation, attracting tourists to various cultural factors such as art, music, dance, industry, education, and history. So we can actually consider culture as one of the important uh, pull factor. So remember we studied about the push and pull factor. So we can say na it's one of the most important pull factors of a host country or of a tourist destination site, okay, of a certain country, because the number one reason we could say that why people travel is because they want to know, understand, and witness a culture which is different from their culture. So that's all for this chapter. Thank you.